I know that I'm not a newbie here anymore, but I realize that if I were fully invested with a proper amount of gravitas, as soon as I put the talus on, then everybody would just hush. That's okay. We're going to get started on page 10 with Yiddi Nefesh as we start our Kabbalat Shabbat service. I'll say our sages tell us not to expend too much effort, tircha, on Shabbat, and so I'll say that I walked very briskly to get here. Certainly did not run, would not do that, but I know for myself and maybe for everybody else, as we experience the added soul of Shabbat, a neshama yitara, we might also take a few nishimot, a few breaths, just to breathe in. Yeah. There was a bit of a little more Hebrew vocab, a little bit of a sichsuch, a dispute about whether or not I was supposed to be leaving the house. And there's a young lady who was pretty sure that I wasn't supposed to be, even though I warned her at various stages, an hour and 45 minutes and 30 minutes. She said that wasn't good enough. So, in any case, yeah, da lifnei mi ata omed, right? And oh, before whom you stand. Hopefully I'll get a chance to say goodnight to her later on. We'll start with Yiddi Nefesh here on page 10. Yiddi Nefesh av harachaman mishoch avdach el retzonach yarutz avdach kmo ayal yishtachaveh mul hadarach ki yerav lo yedidutach minofetzuf vechol Adonai ziv haolam nafshi cholat avatach ana el narefana la beharot la nam zivach asir chazek v'titrapei v'hayatalach shifchat olam v'tik yehemu rachamecha v'chusna aben ohavach ki ze kama nichsof nichsaf lirot tiferet uzach ana eli machmad libi chushana ve'atit alam higalena ufros chaviv alai et sukat shelomach ta'ir eretz mikvodach nagila v'nishmecha bach maher ahuv kiva moed v'choneini ki me'olam Page 95 will continue individually. Page 11, I'm sorry, Psalm 95. Don't flip that far ahead. Psalm 95. L'chu neranen al Adonai nariya litzur yeshenu nikad mafanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo ki you. Arba'im shana akut bedor va'omar am toile v'havhem v'hem lo yahadu derachai asher nishbati v'api im yivun el menuchati. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruch shemo, basaru miyom leyom yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim nifleotav, ki gadol Adonai, Umhulal me'od norahu al kol Elohim ay ki kol Elohe ha'amim elilim v'Adonai shamayim asa hod v'hadar lefanav oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho havu l'Adonai mishpachot amim havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz havu l'Adonai kavod shemo Se'u mincha uva'u lechatzrotav ailai ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh chilu mipanav kol haaretz imru v'goyim Adonai malach aftikon tevel v'al timot yadin amim b'meisharim yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umlo ya'alo sadai v'chol asher bo ay az yirannu kol atzeyar lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel v'tzedek ve'amim ve'emunato alayla layla alalay Pages 15 and 16, we'll read this one individually as well. Adonai malach tagel haaretz yismechoim rabbim anan barachim. Ohave Adonai sinu ra shomer nafshot chasidav miyad reshaim yatzilem or zaru latzarik ulishrei lev simcha simchu tzadikim b'Adonai v'hodu lezecher kodsho. I'm trying to figure out how we can do this one responsively. We'll give it a shot. Okay. Pages 17 and 18. Let's see. Can I get a reader? Sonia, thank you.
A psalm. Sing to Adonai a new song, for Adonai has wrought wonders. God's right hand and holy arm have brought deliverance.
Adonai declared deliverance as nations looked on. God's righteousness was revealed.
God dealt faithfully and kindly with the house of Israel. The very ends of the earth saw God's saving power.
Call out to Adonai, all the earth. Break out in joyful singing. Sing to Adonai to the music of the lyre and voices, making music together. With horns and shofar cries, trumpet the presence of the sovereign Adonai.
Let the sea and all that is in it roar, the earth and all who inhabit it thunder. Let rivers clap hands while mountains sing in harmony, greeting Adonai who comes to judge the earth, judging the world with justice and the nations with truth.
We'll read the next 2 pages, mostly individually, but we'll sing Romamu at the end on page 20. Adonai malach yirgezu, amim yoshev kruvim tanut haaretz. Adonai. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lahar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lahar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lahar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lahar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Page 21. Mismor leDavid havu l'Adonai v'nei Elim havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz havu l'Adonai kavod shemo ishtachavu l'Adonai v'hadrat kodesh kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim Adonai al mayim rabim kol Adonai ba'koach kol Adonai behadar kol Adonai shover arazim v'yishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon vayakidem kmo egel levanon v'sirion kmo ven re'emim kol Adonai chotzei v'lahavot esh kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kadesh kol Adonai yecholel ayalot vayechassof ye'arot uvehechalo kulo omer kavod kulo omer kavod Adonai lamavul yashav vayeshev Adonai melech leolam Adonai oz le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. We'll turn to page 23 and we'll continue with Lechat Dodi. I will be changing melodies after the 5th stanza, and we'll rise for the last stanza, the 9th stanza, with some rabbinic hand gesture to indicate that to you. We're on page 23. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi'anu El hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet ve'lithilah Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat Lechovene Lechakim Kor Haberacha Merosh Mikedem Nesucha Sof Maaseh B'machshavat Chila Lechadodi Likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Mikdash Melech Ir Melucha Kumitzei Mitoch ha'hafecha rav lach shevet peimek habacha v'hu yachamol alayichem la lecha dodi likra kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela hitna ari me'afar kumi livshi bigdei Tifartecha mi al yad ben Yishai beit halachmi Karva el nafshi ge'ala lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri shir dabeiri kavod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela lo tevoshi velo tikalmi ma tishtochachi umatemi bach yechesu aniye ami venivneta irati la lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מלבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס חתן על כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על ידי איש פן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. We're seated and we'll continue individually on pages 27 and 28 with the psalm for Shabbat, Psalm 92. Mizmor Shili Yom HaShabbat. Page 28, I'm at the red dart. Tzadik katamar yifrach, kerez balvanon yizke shetulim, beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yenuvon beseva deshenim verananim yehu lehagid ki Yashar Adonai Tzuri Velo Avlatavo. Let's read responsively on page 29, Psalm 93, in the English. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you are enthroned. You are eternal.
The rivers rise up Adonai, the rivers raise up their roar, the rivers raise up their waves. Adonai stands supreme in the heaven.
In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time. We turn now to Mourner's Kaddish Yatom on page 30. If you are reciting Kaddish this evening, whether you're with us here or you're with us on the live stream, I would invite you to join me in Kaddish, page 30. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah. Ba'alama divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayei chon v'yomei chon u'chayei d'cho beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imra amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mavarach la'alam u'l'olamei alamaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitramam ve'yitnasei ve'yithadar ve'yit'aleh ve'yithalal shmei v'kudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata da'amiran ba'alama ve'imra amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imra amen. Osei shalom b'imrama hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Of course, I always know exactly what's going on, and nevertheless, I may have missed something in a recent ritual committee meeting. Raise your hand if you think you're leading services tonight. Okay, good. Only one of us. All right, good. All right, page 39. There were some things doled out, I know, at the end of a meeting where I was not there, so I wanted to make sure. Page 39, we will continue with our the formal beginning of our evening service, the formal call to worship, Baruch Hu. Please rise, page 39A. Baruch Hu et Adonai Mevorach. Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokmah. U'ma'avir yom u'mevi laila u'ma'avdil bein yom u'vein laila Adonai tzvaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Let's read the English on page 40. This is our second bracha before Shema. I know because it says so at the top of the page. Let's read together in the English. With timeless love, you have loved your people, the house of Israel. You have taught us Torah and mitzvot, statutes and laws. Therefore, Adonai, our God, as we lie down and as we rise up, we shall speak of your laws, rejoicing in the words of your Torah and your mitzvot forever and ever. For they are our life and the fullness of our days, and on them we shall meditate day and night. V'avadcha tasim imenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh Asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shachvecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam lot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. והיה Adonai Elohechem emet ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו כאילו. Page 44. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע הים לפני משה זה אלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו למתן. ושמור צאתנו בואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Please rise. Oh, well.
You know it.
Where were we when the lights went out? Yes. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. יתכתב יקדש שמי רבה ועלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכו בית ישראל בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן Yeshmei Rabba Mevarach, Le'alam Al'amei Alamaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpar, V'yitroma, V'yitnasei, V'yithadar, V'yit'ale, V'yithalal, Shmei Kudesha B'richu, Le'ela Min Kol Bechata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Damiran Ba'alama, V'imru, Amen. We continue now with our own individual prayers. The Hebrew and English texts of the silent Amidah will begin on page 47, as well as numerous notes, poems, and additional readings, should you be so inclined. When you're done with your own prayers, thoughts, or meditations, please be seated. Please rise and join me on page 53 for the symbolic recapitulation of the Amidah. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam v'chal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa Vayvarech Elohim et Yom HaShevi'i vayikadesh oto ki bo shava mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון קונה שמיים וארץ מגן אבות בדברו מחיה מתים במאמרו האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו יום שבת קודשו. כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד, מעון הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה למדו שני עונג. זכר למעשה בראשית. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך. צווינו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעבדך באמת. והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, ואנוכו בישראל מקדש שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותך, וימליך מלכותך בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם לעלמי עלמי יתברך, וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. תתקבל צלחן ורון לכל ישראל קדם אבהון דבי שמעיה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמעיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו אמן. It's important that I make eye contact and say, Savri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'vratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh זכר לציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. And we remain standing as we turn to Aleinu on page 56. Aleinu l'shavech la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gedula li'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומתאחדים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומשה. על כן נקווה לך ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד. We turn now to Kaddish Yatom once more on page 58. As we do, I want to note Yortzeit's falling today, the 14th of Tevet, this Shabbat. We're observing the Yortzeit's Rachel Zipkin-Gruben, Jean Gottesman, both falling today. And in the upcoming week, the Yortzeit's of Fred Scheffler, Rabbi Hillel Rudavsky, Louis Brass, Dora Epstein, Marilyn Moskowitz, Harold Novak, Barbara C. Havelena, Nancy Goldstein, Doug Mossman, Joe Fox, Rabbi Irving Frankel, Max Schechter, Max Blau, Arlene Mintz, Selma Feigelson, and Herbert Frisch. We also think of those we've lost in the last 11 months. Among them, Peter Gabor, Sandy Richards, Kay Gaines, Irv Zipperstein, Elaine Nevins, Joan Dane, Eileen Chodesh, June Howard, Gerald Sapadin, Pam Simowitz-Weber, Hal Schneider, Rosemary Bloom, Russell Mason, and Abraham Ogman. If there's anyone else you are remembering tonight whose name I did not mention and you'd like to share that name with us, I will invite you to do so. Warner's Kaddish is on page 58. If you're reciting, please join me. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shmei Rabbah. Ba'alama divra kirutei be'amlich malchutei b'chayecho u'v'yomecho u'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv be'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mabarach la'alam u'la'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shmei t'gudsha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Dush b'chata v'nechamata da'aminan ba'alama be'imru amen. Yahei shalama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael be'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael be'imru amen. I'll say announcements expectantly, but I don't know if you want me to...
You can take it.
Okay, I'll take it. Well, I have a handy-dandy copy of the January bulletin in hand, so that makes it a lot easier for me to do announcements. I'll say I'm perpetually amazed at Connie's ability to know exactly what's going on. Friday night Shabbat, I mean, the event, not just Friday night, which happens to be Shabbat, but next week we're doing a young families dinner here. It's with an ambiguous start time. I see 5:30 to 7:30 on here, which I think we said doors open at 5, so we were trying to wine and dine our young families. Last time I discovered that if I open the doors at a particular time and we're supposed to start eating at a particular time, it makes things a little challenging. So we're starting a little earlier with that. If you happen to know some, I think the official, at least one child under 13, that's what it says. Okay, so if you know some folks with at least one child under 13 and want to send them our way, we're excited to do that. A good time was had last time, and we saw, I think, I owe Jeff Zipkin and his family a debt of gratitude for, I think, single-handedly constituting about a third of our crowd, because there's a lot of kids between the 3 daughters. I see. Ongoing Women's Torah study. I know Rabbi Shepra said she enjoyed the turnout last time, and we're hoping for a few more folks next time around. It's the 4th Tuesday of each month, 10 a.m., Cafe Alma. If you're looking for an excuse to go to Cafe Alma, not that you really need one, or an excuse to have a little Torah, or both, that's a good occasion for it. This month we are celebrating some, here we go. Celebrating some anniversaries and some birthdays. Tomorrow we'll be talking about all our birthdays, but I do want to offer I might as well offer a shout out to those folks who are here tonight, in case I don't see you tomorrow. To Elaine Hordes, whose birthday I just missed by 3 days. Happy belated birthday, Elaine. Go through the list as quick as I can. To Isabel, who's got a birthday coming up on the 17th. Happy advanced birthday. To Rabbi Barnard, who's got a birthday coming up on the 23rd. 23rd is a good number. I'm a 23rd as well. September, not January. I think that's all the folks who are here. I didn't miss anybody in the room who's got a January birthday, did I? Noam's got a January birthday as well. Oh, very nice. What date? 29th, okay. So a good birthday week with your dad as well there. And then a couple of anniversaries that I see listed here. I know sometimes I worry about our computer system and whether or not the records are accurate. I see 2 anniversaries listed, one for the 4th, and that's the anniversary of Richard Karp and Lenore Fallhaber, and then on the 19th, the anniversary of Elliot and Nadine Lieb. Does anybody else have a January anniversary? I know it's an extremely popular wedding month. People are just flocking in droves to get married in January. Okay. Well, happy anniversary to those folks. We wish them a happy anniversary from afar, a Mazal Tov. Mazal Tov to all of our anniversaries and birthdays and other simchas. We've got services again tomorrow at 9:30. There we go, 9:30. I'd like to sleep in. 9:30, and it will be preceded by a Talmud study. We are on to chapter 6 of Tractate Sanhedrin. So if you're looking for a good entry point, it's a reasonably good entry point, to be honest, for starting something new. It starts at 8:45. Always love to have folks. No background is required. If you're looking for another way to get into Talmud, on Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock, this coming Tuesday, will be our monthly Talmud's Greatest Hits class, 7 p.m. by Zoom. just by Zoom. It's like the top 40 of Talmud. It is. Mine is Casey Kasem. I'm sorry. I can try your request and dedicate. I can't really do the Casey Kasem voice, but yes, indeed, it is some of the most famous sugyot of the Talmud. If there are things that you feel like you hear people quoting, somebody says Torah on one foot, and you say, "What does that mean?" Well, there's a story about that, and it comes from the Talmud. So things like that, it just sort of increases your Judaism quotient a little bit. A little bit of Talmudic literacy and a little more Jewish literacy. So, again, no background required on that. Last thing I want to make sure I highlight, Chazak program coming up on Wednesday the 18th at 12 p.m. Chazak will be welcoming Kevin Reynolds, marketing manager of Cincinnati Public Radio, who has been with the marketing team there for 18 years. And we'll talk about the past and present of Cincinnati Public Radio. So, I bet we've got a couple folks who listen to public radio in here, including myself, so we're excited to be able to have that program. It's the 18th, 12 p.m. Please RSVP because there's going to be lunch. So that's right. I am right about that. There's going to be lunch. So please RSVP. And Vic.
Sunday night.
Sunday. Oh, Men's Club movie, Einstein, right? Yes, at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Men's Club movie, Social Hall, RSVP? Probably not. It's okay. It's okay if you just show up.
We'll have enough seats.
Bring some beer and some popcorn, and they'll let you in. All right. Very good. Okay. And that is all the news that's fit to print, I think. It was already printed, so maybe there's a little more. We will conclude with, how about Yigdal this time? Page 62. Page 62, Yigdal, and then I'll be glad to turn it over to Rabbi Barnard to introduce Noam Barnard, because he knows him a little better than I do. Page 62. Yigdal Elohim chai ve'yishtabach nimtza ve'ein el metziuto echad ve'ein yachid כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם וכל נותר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו, לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד, נביא ומביט את תמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו, לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו, דומה לאיש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרישתו, ישלח לקץ ימין משיחנו, לפדות מחכה קץ ישועתו, מתים יחייל ברוך חסדו, ברוך הדעת שם תהילתו, מתים יחייל ברוך חסדו, ברוך הדעת שם תהילתו. Shabbat Shalom. A thank you to Harriet and possibly Bill for this evening's treats outside in the lobby. I'm going to go ahead and say possibly Bill. I think that's Bill. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy. Yes. Yes, thank you. Right, Kiddush tomorrow. We have got an anniversary. Jeff and Gain, the anniversary of their meeting, 40th anniversary of this, 40 years, and they are in honor of this. They are sponsoring the Kiddush, and also is it a bar mitzvah anniversary? It's a bar mitzvah anniversary as well, and Jeff's going to be reading Haftarah for us as well. So it's a big thank you for the reminder. I really appreciate it. It wasn't in the bulletin, but yes, and we are excited, and thank you in advance for the sponsorship.
At our Shabbat evening services on the first Friday of each month, we have a speaker, sometimes a scholar who speaks on an area of their expertise, sometimes a member of the community who speaks about activities, things that they have done which are interesting, worthwhile, or significant. Tonight our speaker is our son Noam, whom some of you know for varying amounts of time. Alex and Candy have known him since he and Noam and Scott were both in strollers, I think. Lynn was his high school Spanish teacher. And other people have come to know him at various times along the way. Some of you have first met his dog Coronado, who is a regular visitor at our house. And some of you may be meeting Noam for the first time tonight, and I'm glad you're having the opportunity. Noam is the only one of our kids who stayed in town, and in particular, he lives in Clifton Heights, and his experiences there and his interests and concerns have led him to join with other people in the formation of the Coalition for Community Safety, and he is going to tell us now about that organization, and will also answer your questions. Now on.
Get my stuff out of here.
Good evening, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. As you heard, my name is Noam. I'm here this evening to talk about the Coalition for Community Safety. About 33 years ago, I had my bar mitzvah. Not here, it was at the old building. Some of you remember that on Fleming Road. The reason I bring that up, one of the things that was part of that weekend was my dad asked me to pick a charity and do something about it. I was 13. Making sense out of stuff like that was a little bit more complicated, but we did. The charity that we picked was Mary Magdalene House. For years and years, there was a box in the back hallway of the administrative offices where people could drop off shampoos and soaps and items like that. Mary Magdalene House, if you don't know, offers a shower facility for the homeless people in Cincinnati. That's that story, but hold on to it. There's going to be a full circle in just a few minutes. The Coalition for Community Safety was established loosely in the summer of 2020. I think more seriously, it started to be a thing in the fall of 2020. We do quite a bit of homeless outreach work, pop-up soup kitchens, mobile services, education, being able to connect folks that are experiencing homelessness or substance use disorder, mental health issues, etc., with services here in and around Cincinnati that can help. That's the gist of what CCS does. You'll find us at the park downtown next Saturday. We serve lunch and offer free clothing, harm reduction supplies such as Narcan and things like that. That's a monthly operation. We usually see anywhere from 150 to 250 people, which is significant. The first time we did it down there, we were ill-prepared. Um, but we got it pretty much figured out nowadays. That's the one that's easy to see. And I really think that, serving lunch once a month is nice. It's not getting the job done. People need to eat every day, not just one Saturday out of the month. Certainly passing out clothing and harm reduction supplies is important anytime, and getting that out there is helpful. I believe that our most impactful operation at CCS is our mobile operations. This is where we're physically driving around areas of town that are hot spots for substance use disorder, people experiencing homelessness, people experiencing mental health issues. This is a way where, first of all, we're meeting people face to face. And able to make that connection, like I said, with social services, other agencies around town that are able to help folks out a little bit more than we are. I find that to be hugely impactful, and I think it's important. So that's that. When I say loosely established in 2020, it really was. There was civil unrest out in the streets as a result of the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Things were a bit of a mess. As the organization started to come together, as I said, in the fall of 2020, going into 2021, we started implementing a lot of these services and programs. Most recently, the blizzard over Christmas weekend, 12, 22, 23, 24, and 25. We did a huge amount of work. I wasn't expecting it. It just kind of fell into place. But we were on the streets through the blizzard, making sure that people were able to get to the warming centers and emergency winter shelters. Passing out blankets, passing out hand warmers. Gosh, on Saturday we served 240 meals. On Sunday, another 100. It was a busy weekend. There's some statistics out there that I can talk about. I don't have all the numbers right in front of me right now. Unfortunately, opioid overdoses in the United States are up. Interestingly enough, down 7% here in Cincinnati. Same with hepatitis C and HIV. There's no evidence out there whatsoever that says it's our fault, but I kind of think that the numbers line up kind of with our timing to make it at least feel like we might be doing something good out there to help folks that need that kind of help. Nowadays, we have a board of directors. We have a couple of supporting organizations. Harm Reduction Ohio provides us with Narcan, something to the tune of 2,000 boxes a year. We're a lot more organized, certainly, than we were 2 years ago. As I said, a board of directors. We have a team of volunteers. Grant from Home Depot in process right now, some things like that. So we're in the up and up. And I think one of the most important things, not so much, yes, it's important to offer these services to the community as available, but being able to connect with other agencies around town, other organizations, grassroots, government funded, et cetera, et cetera. We all need to work together to be able to combat homelessness and substance use disorder and mental health issues. And that's what being organized has really taught me, is that kind of outreach with other people in the same business it's getting the job done, and I'm proud of that one for sure. The Mishnah talks a little bit about something called tikkun olam, repairing the world. We, as CCS, claim to be a mutual aid organization, which is the correlation that I made between tikkun olam and mutual aid is just that. Something that we say on the streets is solidarity, not charity. Handing somebody a snack or handing somebody $1 is nice for a minute. Making those connections with the other agencies, making those connections with people on the street, that is tikkun olam. The full circle that I was talking about when I spoke about my bar mitzvah a few minutes ago, one of those agencies is still around today. It's Mary Magdalene House. Nowadays, I'm in close contact with their board of directors. We communicate all the time. Make sure that our clientele is doing okay. If we haven't seen somebody for a little while, maybe, somebody out there has, and we can keep track of folks, and we can make sure that people are getting medical attention and things like that. That's that full circle. Certainly when I was 13 and had my bar mitzvah, I would never expect to come across Mary Magdalene House 30 years later, but here we are. And I'm glad to associate them as being a partner in this mission. I think that's all I have for right now. Questions? Where
is your money coming from?
It comes from people like you. It sounds funny. No, we are exclusively crowdsourced. Everything that we get is coming from the community that we serve.
Strictly individual, no government aid or state aid?
That stuff is out there. It's difficult to get government funding for such small projects. Sometimes there's trickle down where maybe a larger agency gets a large grant and passes some of that along. Right now we are very young and currently crowdsourcing. Yes.
Are most of the people that you deal with homeless?
A large amount are, yes.
And do you hook them up with shelters?
Well, we can get people to shelters if they need to. Yeah, here goes the lights again. Most of our clientele, yes, are unhoused.
Do you provide a way for them to get to these shelters?
I have been known to physically put people in my van and take them there myself.
I know that when I worked over with St. Elizabeth,
Mm-hmm.
psychiatric, we had a lot of people that were homeless that came in, and we would give them tokens for the bus
Mm-hmm.
to get them there. Do you do that? Do you have any kind of a hookup with the bus service?
We don't right now. There are other outreach workers in Cincinnati. One of the things that I was speaking about was being able to make those connections. Maybe we can't offer a certain service, but I can call somebody and get them to come pick them up or whatever needs to happen. Yes?
I work downtown, and at lunchtime and other times of the day, I walk down 4th Street or 5th Street of Walnut, and I see people like you described asking for money, and is it that hard to hear?
I can hear.
And I work downtown, and I come across at lunchtime various people on the corner asking for money, and I always try to keep a lot of dollar bills in my wallet. And you kind of said that's kind of minimal help. It's well intended, it's still minimal. And sometimes I talk to these people like, what are you going to do with this dollar or the other dollars that you get? And I'm sure they get other dollars.
Sure.
What are you going to do with it? And sometimes they don't know what to say. And what can I say to put them in touch with other people like your organizations? I mean, it'd be great if you had a card.
Well, I have pamphlets sitting right by the front door. Grab one or two on your way out.
That I could tell these people here, Paul,
Sure.
deliver housing, all this.
Absolutely. Yep. We can put people in touch with all those folks promptly.
All right, I'm glad you have a pamphlet.
Yes.
Sure, I do my best. Just to put a little perspective regarding you, I mean, some of us remember you from long ago and not so much more recently. Is this your full-time gig, or are there other things you're doing, or how are you tied into this?
Well, it's not my full-time gig yet, although it's something that I strive to have. Right now, we're a group of volunteers that are just trying to offer a service to the community. We'll see what happens in the future.
Do you come up against violence at all, and do you partner with the police in any way?
Never have yet.
Are the police in your picture?
Not in my picture, no. Not with us. I think they know who we are. They see us out there on the streets dealing with some of the very people that they're probably looking out for, too. I tend to stay out of their way, and likewise.
Do you have some idea of the size of the problem? Homelessness.
There are numbers out there. I don't believe that they're accurate. Some people say somewhere between 900 and 1,100 in Cincinnati. I think it's closer to 2,500, depending on who's getting counted. People that sleep in their cars, for instance, don't get counted. People that are sleeping on someone's couch temporarily don't get counted. So, you know, well, somebody might have a couch to sleep on tonight. Tomorrow they might have to go somewhere else and sleep in a park or on a bench or something like that. So.
Well, I have a question. As we drive around, we see people holding up signs saying they're homeless, they don't have a job, they have children with them, and that kind of thing. How do you know who's really homeless and who's not? Are they just using these kids to make you feel bad and give them money, or are they really homeless? And they're in strange places.
It's hard to tell, and it's none of my business. Yeah, you know, I mean, if somebody needs help and they're taking advantage of me, that'll get figured out later on somehow, some other way. If someone needs help and they're taking a blanket from me and a bottle of water, and they need it, then they need it. Candy? We do. It's a little bit of an operation. I tend to spend my Saturday mornings cooking jambalaya. It's a 20-gallon pot.
What's the best way we can help?
Again, there's pamphlets at the front door, and we have contact info on there. Send us an email, send us a Venmo, stuff like that.
No, Jennifer, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you have fundraisers to try and raise money for my bosom lottery?
Not for people on, I just want to stress for everybody, if they're online, we can't hear you unless you use the mic.
Sorry. Do you have fundraisers to try and have them get money to help these people?
So far, that's not happened, although it's definitely on the radar.
Oh, I've got a question about the coalition for the homeless, not for the homeless, but the efforts in Cincinnati to make housing a right for everybody and to get funding for it. Could you give me your reaction to it, or is this useful, not? Is it something that we should support, not?
Absolutely. CCS works closely with the Greater Cincinnati Homeless Coalition. Several of their people are on my speed dial, as a matter of fact. I strongly support housing for everyone. No one deserves to sleep outside, not in this country. So, yes, absolutely. Housing first.
Does the coalition help these people, any of them, to find a job in some way that's supporting them?
Unfortunately, that is not our department. I think most of the work that we're doing is dealing with folks on the street that are experiencing some sort of critical need. So, well, yes, having a job in the future is a good plan. Today, you need a blanket, and today you need something to eat. So that's kind of our approach for right now.
It's hard to have a job when you don't have a home.
Right. It's a vicious cycle. I've got one in the back there.
It seems to me that taking care of the critical need also restores hope in these people and maybe trust in the system to really help them so that when the social worker does come by, they're more likely to,
Open up. Absolutely, 100%.
So it's kind of a gateway, and what you're doing is you're just building that trust and hope in these people, which if you don't have that, you're not going to go to the next level.
Absolutely, 100% agree on that.
Now, to what extent was your bar mitzvah project responsible for the direction you've taken in your life?
I thought about the connection a few years ago. When I was 15 and 16 years old, I was getting into a whole bunch of other mess that was completely unrelated. I think it took me growing up a bit to bring that circle back around, but here we all are.
Well, our rabbi's not here, so unless there are any other questions, I want, go ahead.
You mentioned younger people. Do you have younger people involved with your program? Or is it folks like yourself who have a bit of life behind them?
Our list of volunteers is pretty diverse. We have college students, we have P&G employees, we have moms and grandmas, and I think everybody in between.
Well, as we close, I think of something that I read in Trevor Noah's autobiography. And quote, something many of us have heard is, you give a person a fish, that person eats for a day. And you teach the person how to fish, that person eats for a lifetime. But what Trevor Noah added is the person doesn't have access to the fishing pole, that no matter how much you teach, it doesn't work. And it sounds like the work that you're doing with the coalition is to give that individual the fishing rod.
Offering those
so
tools,
that in
yeah.
turn that person can learn how to actually fish
Sure.
and eventually provide.
Absolutely.
I think I hear everybody here in saying, we are so honored to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
And how wonderful to see this person that many of us saw growing up to take on this very important task of tikkun olam in a very meaningful way. And so we thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
No, not at all. Not at all. This concludes our service and presentation. Thank you, Noam, very much, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Hopefully, you'll see some folks tomorrow, and we can fet Jeff and Gaina as well as enjoy our Shabbat morning services and Torah reading tomorrow. Oh yes, and there are snacks. Oneg Shabbat, some snacks out in the lobby. Please enjoy.